Just 1 minute ago, a shocking development shook the royal world. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has reportedly been forbidden from using the Sussex title in any commercial ventures. The title that once symbolized modern monarchy independence and a new royal chapter is now at the center of a growing storm. What does this really mean? Is this a formal royal restriction? A strategic move behind palace doors? Or the final line being drawn between Harry and the institution he left behind? Today, we're breaking down everything. The background, the tension, the business implications, and what this could mean for Harry's future brand. Let's get into it. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped back from royal duties in 2020, the world watched history unfold. The couple chose financial independence over royal protocol. They kept their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles, but agreed not to use Royal Highness in a working capacity. At the time, it was presented as a compromise, but compromises in the royal world rarely stay simple. Over the years, the Sussex brand has become more than a title. It evolved into a global identity. From Archwell to Netflix deals, Spotify partnerships, memoir releases, speaking engagements, and philanthropic campaigns, the Sussex name carried weight. It represented both controversy and influence. Now, reports suggest that Prince Harry may no longer be permitted to use Sussex in commercial ventures, and that changes everything. Why is this significant? Because Sussex isn't just geography, it's branding power. Titles in the British royal system are not privately owned trademarks. They are granted by the monarch. When Queen Elizabeth II gave Harry and Meghan the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles in 2018, it was both ceremonial and symbolic. It linked them permanently to a county in England and to the royal hierarchy. But stepping back from royal duties created an unusual situation. They remained titled royals, but were no longer working royals. That blurred line has been controversial from the start. Some critics argue that using the Sussex title in commercial deals benefits from royal prestige, while distancing from royal responsibility. Supporters argue that the title is legally theirs and part of Harry's birthright as a prince. Now, with reports that commercial use may be restricted, it signals something deeper: control over royal branding. The royal family has always been protective of its image. Even small branding decisions are carefully managed. Historically, working royals do not engage in profit-driven business ventures. The monarchy survives on public funding and institutional partnerships, not commercial endorsements. Harry and Meghan's post-royal strategy disrupted that tradition. From multi-million-dollar streaming deals to publishing contracts, they built a modern celebrity empire. And while none of their ventures directly use Royal Highness, the Sussex name remained front and center. If Harry is now barred from using Sussex commercially, it may represent an effort to draw a firm boundary between monarchy and marketplace. But how enforceable is that? Legally, the monarch has authority over peerage titles. However, stripping or restricting titles is rare and politically sensitive. It requires formal action, sometimes even parliamentary involvement. The royal family historically avoids dramatic removals unless absolutely necessary. So this situation may not be about removal, but about usage. There's a major difference between being called the Duke of Sussex and branding a product or venture under Sussex. If the restriction specifically targets commercial ventures, it could mean Harry can still hold the title socially and ceremonially, but cannot leverage it for business gain. That would significantly impact branding strategy. Let's talk business. Harry and Meghan's public identity has been intertwined with Sussex since 2018. Their charitable foundation evolved into Archwell, which intentionally shifted away from direct Sussex royal branding after earlier disputes with the palace. You may remember that in 2020, the couple initially tried to trademark Sussex Royal. That move was ultimately abandoned after discussions with the palace. The message was clear. The word royal could not be used commercially once they stepped down. Now, it seems the spotlight is on Sussex itself. If enforced, this could mean future media projects, foundation campaigns, public speaking promotions, or corporate partnerships cannot use Duke of Sussex as a commercial identifier. That might sound minor, but in branding, titles carry perception power. The Sussex name signals exclusivity. It signals lineage. It signals global attention. Without it, Harry may have to lean more heavily on Prince Harry as his commercial identity. While that remains powerful, it subtly shifts the narrative. It places focus on his birth status rather than his granted peerage. There's also the public opinion factor. Royal watchers have long been divided over Harry's post-exit path. Some feel he and Meghan have been unfairly criticized for building independent careers. Others argue that commercial success tied to royal association blurs ethical lines. If this restriction is confirmed, it may be viewed as the palace reasserting control, not out of punishment, but preservation. Preservation of what? Institutional neutrality. The monarchy survives by appearing politically neutral and commercially impartial. Any perception that royal titles are being monetized could weaken that position. At the same time, this development risks deepening tensions between Harry and the royal family. Relations have already faced strain following interviews, documentaries, and Harry's memoir. Public revelations created headlines worldwide. Trust, according to insiders, has been fragile. A restriction like this, even if framed as procedural, could feel personal. And yet, it may also represent closure, a clean separation between royal institution and private enterprise. For Harry, this may accelerate an identity evolution already underway. Over the past few years, he has focused on mental health advocacy, veteran support, and philanthropic work. He has appeared increasingly comfortable positioning himself as a global humanitarian rather than a traditional royal. If the Sussex title becomes commercially restricted, it may push him further in that direction. Less emphasis on inherited status, more emphasis on personal mission. But let's not underestimate the symbolism. The Duke of Sussex title was a wedding gift from Queen Elizabeth II. It marked a hopeful chapter, a new generation of royals modernizing the monarchy. Seeing its commercial use restricted carries emotional weight. For supporters, it may feel like a diminishing of Harry's place within the royal framework. For critics, it may feel overdue. For the palace, it may simply be brand management. And here's another layer: public perception outside the UK. Globally, especially in America, royal titles often function more like celebrity identifiers than constitutional markers. The nuance of peerage law doesn't always translate internationally. In global markets, Sussex became shorthand for a modern royal narrative independent, outspoken, and media-savvy. Removing that from commercial use could shift how international audiences perceive Harry's projects. The big question remains: what happens next? If the restriction is informal, we may see quiet rebranding over time. Press releases may emphasize Prince Harry rather than Duke of Sussex. Promotional materials could subtly adjust language. If it's formal, it may spark debate within Parliament or media circles about the broader future of royal titles in the modern era. This situation also reflects a larger evolution within the monarchy itself. King Charles III has long advocated for a streamlined monarchy, fewer working royals, clearer roles, defined responsibilities on a move to limit title usage commercially aligns with that philosophy. It defines who represents the crown officially and who operates independently. For Harry, independence was the goal from the start, but independence from institution can sometimes mean independence from institutional privileges, titles included. Still, it's important to note that being forbidden from using a title commercially does not erase identity. Harry remains Prince Harry. He remains sixth in line to the throne. He remains a public figure with global recognition. Branding shifts do not erase history. In fact, sometimes restrictions create reinvention. Harry has shown adaptability before. From soldier to senior royal, from working royal to California-based philanthropist. This could simply be the next evolution. And if anything, the world will be watching closely. Because when it comes to royal titles, symbolism matters, power matters, and perception matters most of all. So what do you think? Is this a necessary move to protect the monarchy's image, or another chapter in an ongoing royal divide? Should Prince Harry be free to use the Sussex title however he chooses? Or does commercial branding cross a royal line? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This conversation is far from over. If you enjoyed this deep dive into royal power titles and behind-the-scenes decisions, Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next royal update. Because in the world of royalty, everything can change in just 1 minute, and we'll be here when it does.